All right, welcome everybody. I'm Michael. I'm from Ontario, Canada. Most of you know me. Generally, I do, of course, the Paraiba overviews on Sunday. Appreciate everybody being here today. We have a very special overview on something that has been worked on now for at least, I don't know, a year, Stally? I don't know how long you guys been working on this. It's been a while.
It's about a year, yeah.
About a year now this has been going on. And some of you have heard about it over the last many months. We've had Stally on, we've had others talking about it as well, about the Paraiba Talk Privacy Suite products. And many of you have been using them a little bit. We have, of course, our chat in beta. We have our conference in beta. So we have these out there right now, guys, that you can try these services. And of course, the big question everybody wants to know is how are we going to monetize these products, right? How do we, take advantage of what's going on in the markets? And there's two big things going on right now. Number one, there's major censorship, data sharing happening with the, big tech companies like YouTube and WhatsApp, Facebook, even Zoom can share data. It's not 100% private, believe it or not. And so this is an issue, right? Privacy is an issue, censorship is an issue. And so we have the chance to be able to use products that have been created here specifically right now for the private community, but that will expand outside our community. And we're going to be able to have completely encrypted products, right? Even email will be completely encrypted with this service. I mean, that's going to be absolutely awesome. So we get to use these products, and now we have the ability to monetize them. And the second aspect here being that we'll be able to take part in a token offering here that we're going to talk about here today that will allow you to literally have ownership. We'll have ownership in the private communication system. And so we're talking, guys, about passive income here. Passive income that can start immediately. And then we'll also have monthly residual income that will begin to happen over the next 2 or 3 months from this also. So there's multiple passive revenue streams that can be created here by being a part of Tech Tok. TEKT, that is the name of our token. And so we wanted to have everybody on here today. We have a few different people on with us. We have, of course, Stally. Many of you know him. He's from Norway, and he likes being called the man behind the concept. He's one of our developers here and does a great job explaining everything, of course, about how all these, these privacies, all the systems work. And then, of course, our token as well. And then we also have on with us Anas Madi. He's the chief developer of this, and then Matt Conley, who is a tokenomics pro. So we have 3 gentlemen on with us to help explain this. So I'm going to put it over to Stally here right now, and we'll get started on how this all works and explain it for us. Take it away, Stally.
Thank you so much, Michael. Norwegian, so you have to excuse my English every now and then. I want to start with sharing a few things because we need to do this in the right order. I think most of us remember them good old days in 2016-17 when ICOs was merely one idea and they collected millions based upon air. Of course, that was a total failure and fiasco. You have to do this properly. And that means you have to build the products, the services, the content, the utility before you start and go out there to try to tokenize anything. And like Michael said, we spent a year building these platforms. We've been working for months on the uniqueness of the tokenomics concept. And we'll spend the next 1 hour sharing with you exactly what we've done. But before I go on to the presentation itself, Paraiba Talk?
Yes.
Okay, so for those of you who haven't seen this yet, we have created a landing site for our communication products. We have 3 of them. This is paraibatalk.com. This site is up until now created in English and German. And as you see, we have been approved by both App Store and Google Play Store in regards of downloading the application for the mobile. I would suggest you do that, because the more people that use it, the better the quality and the faster we get service from the big data companies. We are depending on giving us the right protocols for this. I think maybe Anas can help me and talk about protocols later, because we built this on something called XMPP, which is the same protocol used by the big players in the world, which is important because we need to have the ability to scale. There are thousands of apps out there, but most of them can't scale to more than 20,000 people. We need to be prepared for millions of users for this chat application. So you can read bits and pieces about the Paraiba chat app on the landing page. You can read about the Paraiba conference. We're not using that right now because it's limited to 25 people only. Of course, we need to build bigger rooms, but then again, Rome was not built in a day. And it's rather a big task, all this, but it's a working product, super easy interface, good quality meeting room for up to 25 people is already made. And then we have our little, sometimes this is, I like to call this like a hidden gem, because this is our email, decentralized email system, and also with a big file transfer system. I think most of you know we transfer Dropbox, which are not fully encrypted at all. We have created something called a cipher control container, and that's a smart little container that can contain any kind of content. It could be sent on any kind of platform, but you need our DNA to be able to send it and to receive it. We'll talk more about that later. I think the first thing we need to focus on is the chat app, which is like the tip of the sword here. And you can already now download that in the different stores online. On the top right side here, you can go and you can actually, there's active links here, so you can go in here and use the same login credentials as you use for the chat app, for the mobile app. You can use for the Paraiba parcel, which is a hyper-secure encryption tool for email and for big files. That's quite clever. We're going to use the Paraiba Academy to learn and teach and share how to work with this, because I think it's smart that we get this in the tip of our fingers, so we duplicate the correct information to the community and to your own structure inside Paraiba. There's also a link for the conference system in here, of course. And again, you use the same login credentials as you use for your mobile application. You can also use demo with small letters if you haven't got the username or login credentials for the phone yet. I think I'm correct on us. Demo, small letters.
Right.
Yeah. In short, these products works. We've spent tons of money and time and a lot of clever developers. We have a super team that could be given the task we have, anything between 30 and 40 people working day and night to make sure we get the proper products. Security and privacy, of course, being what we are aiming for. Today, and Anas will talk more about this later, we have created a VIP site for the token offering, for the ITO, which is a initial tech offering. That means you will have a piece of this privacy-based communication tools we have in Paraiba Talk. You can also read more about it here on this page, but we'll have a look at that a bit later. So let me see now. This one is the correct one. And we'll do some questions and answers afterwards, of course, related to all we talk about here today. So like I said, we emphasize privacy and security first. We do not mine. That means that we're not tapping into, we're not listening into, we don't know what's going on calls. We're not selling any data. We're not sharing any data. Hence also the quality of the calls, both voice and video, is far better than Telegram and WhatsApp. And if you try calling with it, I think you'll be amazed. That goes also for the video quality when you do video calls on this one. As I showed you, we are already up and running. We have live working products. The chat application for the phone, we have the conference system, and we do have the Paraiba parcel. So I'm not going to remind myself, I just run through these slides. Yes, it's there, it's working. go to your App Store or to your Google Play Store and download this little baby. Parcel, up and running and works. We're working a little bit on the user interface to simplify the usage of this so that even I can use it. And of course, the conference as well. Please use it. Up to 25 people with super quality and a very easy user interface. It's already there. So all these products, all we can do with this basically is the basis of introducing the Tech Talk. And I think, Matthew, you can give us a little introduction on the Tech Talk here, please.
Sure, thank you. So first of all, it's great to be able to speak in my native tongue and to be able to just speak freely right now on this call here tonight, I have to say. And I apologize for my video not being on. I'm actually in a remote island in the middle of the Indian Ocean somewhere, and it's pitch dark outside, and I'm on my phone, but it's a beautiful thing, technology these days. So my name is Matthew Conley from Chicago, Illinois, and just talking about why I'm involved in this project, why it's exciting to me, is basically we're taking advantage of a couple of major market trends, which, of course, Michael touched upon when we started the call, which is number one, privacy and communication, and users actually valuing putting a price tag on that privacy. And number two is people all around the world, especially, maybe not as much in Canada, but certainly it's a worldwide trend of people demanding more out of the banking system. And that's what these two converging trends were able to take advantage of inside in the marketplace. So the Tech Talk is a representation of our platform, of our communication platform, with the offers inside that relate to decentralized finance, which we're going to talk about. And that's effectively what the token is. It's a representation of ownership in the entire ecosystem.
Okay, we'll go on a bit. Matt is here all the time as well. There's a limited offer here. We have issued only 20,000 Tech Talks. And that's a number that will stay there. No less, no more, basically. 20,000 already created on the Ethereum blockchain. The price for the tokens, $500 each. You can compare that to a share, because what this does for you, we'll get back to in a bit here. We have a limited offer now until the 30th of April. Because we had a lot of questions about fees already in the current system with Paraiba. There's a lot of fees that takes away some money from people. So we said, okay, we'll cover the fee in April until the 30th. So there's a limited offer of $450 per Tech Talk. What is quite genius here as well, we're talking about the decentralized system. That means that token holders will participate in voting on how the system is working, how the future versions is going to be. And you are basically like the board members in a piece of technology. You'll take part in everything. We will use smart contracts when it comes to voting. We'll put issues and challenges and whatever we need to do on the table so that all the Tech Talk holders can be part of the business. That's quite cool. And that's a decentralized system, which is quite the opposite to a centralized system, which is basically how the world is working today. But this is the future, trust me. So this market, Matthew, I mean, yes. We're tapping into a lot of interesting things these days. Looking at what Coinbase was doing yesterday, being listed on NASDAQ, the crypto blockchain DeFi market is becoming, if not a household name yet, but it's getting warmer.
Absolutely. I think yesterday with the listing of Coinbase on the NASDAQ exchange, it really it was a watershed moment for crypto and also digital assets. So I think really at the end of the day, what it stated is that digital assets, that is effectively an asset class, and it's here to stay. I mean, those are the two kind of major points that was driven home with that. And so we have a really interesting opportunity in the fact that we have a worldwide market with the app. Anyone with a smartphone can download our application all around the world. And anyone with that same smartphone can also participate in any decentralized finance offer. So from my perspective, I haven't seen a better opportunity in my life as it relates to be able to tap into a worldwide market and to be able to earn money from that, especially based on the fact that when we're talking about decentralized finance and all of the opportunities that exist within that ecosystem, which is very young and growing, this is something that's in high demand really all around the world. And it's going to start to become more and more, let's say, it's going to become more and more well received as time moves on here, as more products become more available and user interfaces get easier and people adopt to the technologies a lot faster. So that's really the opportunity. Again, it's a worldwide market. It's a worldwide opportunity. The beauty of decentralization, it doesn't care where you're located. It doesn't matter where you are, where you were born. Everyone can participate. And that's truly a borderless opportunity. So it's a worldwide opportunity, and that's why I'm involved in it. And that's why I am so bullish on decentralized finance as a whole.
Okay, just let's have a look at the Tech Tok allocation. We said there's 20,000 tokens, 500 apiece. And there's an idea behind how we allocate the funds coming in based on the token sales. You will see here 50% is allocated investors. That means you. So immediately 50%, half of this money, is going straight back into trading in DeFi. We will show you some cycles and the ecosystem, how we will generate revenue out of this. But 50% immediately back to you as a token investor, and it will work for you with a monthly payout. We have allocated 10% to advisors because if we want to go out there and beyond the little Paraiba community, because we want to tap into more people, that goes without saying. So we need to be in contact with advisors. There are certain YouTubers, influencers, people with enormous Telegram groups in the crypto blockchain territory that we need to tap into to kind of go to market and tell them about our Tech Tok. We have those contacts, but these contacts needs to be rewarded. And that's a very important part because it will influence the price of the Tech Tok in the future immensely. Community 10%, that means we are paying out let's call it a finder's fee. It's a small affiliate idea behind it. Because you are working within the structure, then you're used to that. It's not a multi-level system, it's just a one-line system where if you already have a Tech Tok and want to sell this to your first line, your personal first line only, please, let's be ethical, then you'll get a 10% kickback on each sales. That means $50 straight back at you. Here, team 30%, that goes for future developments, building new products, enhancing quality. Maybe we want to throw in a couple of patent applications, it's marketing, support, and also supporting our DeFi team so that we have a strong engine for the whole thing. But the most important thing is that immediately we put 50% back to work for the Tech Tok investors. And these 50%, maybe Matt, you can say something about how we go to market with that.
Yeah, sure. So at the end of the day, and I know that we have a lot of, let's say, technologically astute people on this call, but I don't want to make any assumptions for the few individuals that have not heard of decentralized finance or perhaps don't really fully understand what it is. But effectively what it is, for those of you who maybe are new to that, is it is I think the best way to describe it, it is the banking system that is not owned by anyone. It's owned by everyone who participates in it. And it's on the blockchain. And it is a way for effectively the banking system to work in a peer-to-peer type of way, where instead of a banking intermediary operating in between two individuals or two organizations conducting a transaction, it's computer code. So whether that be an exchange or a lending and borrowing transaction or a synthetic or a derivative or anything that operates inside the existing banking system, there's actually a decentralized protocol that basically governs those types of transactions. And what's interesting about that is by putting money into these protocols, you can earn an interest and you can earn a return. And it's certainly a tricky business in terms of understanding where to put it, where not to put it, where the high risk is, where the low risk is, and the best returns. And it requires a lot of research and a lot of movement of money. So at the end of the day, that's what we do for you on your behalf. It's in our best interest to do so, and yours as well. And that's where the payments come from on a monthly basis. So in short, without getting too technical on where the money's being allocated and how it's actually working specifically, let's say, because these things do change every day. I mean, DeFi really is a business that's changing every day, and it's growing every day, and there's new protocols opening every day, and there's lots of things happening. But at the end of the day, you are able to participate in that system and profit from it. So I know everyone certainly here on this call understands how profitable over the years the banking system has been. And this is your opportunity to effectively own a portion of the new banking system. And that's really the big picture thing for me when I look at decentralized finance. It's an opportunity to own the new financial system, a place where people are conducting and transacting every day. To be a part of that business is it's astounding when you think about the magnitude of profits and potential there is in that marketplace overall. So that's why some of the greatest minds are going there into decentralized finance right now. Great computer minds, great technical minds, a lot of people from the existing banking system going there as well. And that's how we're allocating the funds and earning revenues. And yeah, the future is very bright.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So when we say earn smart, that means that you'll have a part of everything we do. Like Matt explained here, you'll have a part of whatever we do in the DeFi world, but also when we monetize our communication tools and platforms. So when somebody pays X amount of money for the conference system or for the secure file system, then a certain piece of that will be allocated going straight back to the token holders. And again, I say this will be fully transparent. We'll put it on the table, and we'll have a voting on how the fees are divided back into the system. Hence, everything is totally transparent in this one. And that's the whole idea of being decentralized and sharing the technology together. So that's called smart earning in my world. This one is basically explaining the things quite better. So remember we talked about we take 50% of the token sales and pull it straight back and working for us. So what we're doing here in cycle number 1 is that we say, okay, we'll do some trading, we'll tap into DeFi markets, and we will go up to 50% return on TEKT, the initial deposit paid. That means that our target is to pay back $250 on this one. And you get this paid out monthly until the target is reached. And some people say, okay, is that going to be a month, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8? We don't know. It has to do with the market. But looking at what's going on now, because with excitement, we can say that the altcoin season is on. So the next few months, basically, it's going to be a little Klondike in this business. The sooner we tap into this and the more money we can put out in the markets, the sooner we'll get to the target of paying out 50% return on the initial price. That's cycle number 1. And you can regard that as a bonus, basically. The token works for you immediately once you've bought it. The most interesting part is, of course, what Matt has been talking about here. We're tapping into the DeFi world. We're, of course, also sharing our revenue when people start to spend money on our communication tools. And also important is that it's not only about the 10,000, 15,000 or 5,000 Tech Tok holders, but we're going to open up the market for all the people using our mobile application and or other means of communication where we can integrate the DeFi. And that we will do also starting now in the second quarter. That means we are spending this month, May and June, to prepare for cycle number 2 and start to monetize and get kickbacks to the token holders, both on DeFi and the communication tools we have. And of course, imagine when 50,000 people, 100,000 people, or even more start to use DeFi, there will be like some fume coming back into the token system, hence us holding a Tech Tok. On us, I just want to ask you one thing, because we say in cycle number 3, we will launch Tech Tok on the exchange. I'll talk a bit more about that. But how do you see this going from A to Z, Anas? What are the plans for us to take Tech Tok to the exchanges?
Yeah, for cycle 3 in short, we will start with the decentralized exchange like Uniswap, SushiSwap, and Balancer as well. This decentralized exchange don't need to go further with regulations, and even they limited us to be to put everything in the token inside of the pools. So we will start with them first. Second, we aiming to target the top 10 centralized exchange like Go.io and Hotbit. After that, the final target for us, which is the best target, is list the token inside of Binance. When we reach a point, there's a passive income for everyone as a TikTok holder, then we will list it there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So just in short, what makes this Tech Tok quite unique is that it's a little money-making machine. I mean, I love Bitcoin, and I hold a little Bitcoin, and I believe it's going to go much higher. But Bitcoin, as many other coins, are based on supply and demand. I mean, it doesn't quite work for you. You have to wait until the price is right, either you sell or buy. With this one, you get an immediate kickback. You get 50% return in a certain time frame. I haven't seen anyone doing that. And then in cycle number 2, you participate in everything we do, all kinds of business. You are like a shareholder in a communication company. So you get from all the services and products we have, plus when we tap into DeFi. This cycle number 2 is, the more we have thought about it, it's bigger than ourselves. This one can be phenomenal. And these 2 cycles alone is more than enough, if you ask me, about having the possibility and also showing that there's so much quality behind it. So we want to take it to the exchanges. I think you might not even want to sell it when it gets there. But then again, you can sell point something. You don't have to get rid of all you have. And you can make a good business transactions when you feel like it anyway. But these cycles are the engine behind the Tech Tok token. So, I mean, we can dream. And looking at cycle 3, we say we'll take this to the decentralized exchanges first. And of course, we're aiming for the big ones. And trust me, we are serious when we talk about this. Currently, I think there is plus minus 30,000 people inside the Paraiba community. And given that we only issue 20,000 tokens, I mean, the push, the pressure will also be helpful when it comes to price when we go on the exchanges. So we will show you a couple of examples in a bit here. Why do we only issue 20,000, and why do we think the price can go that sky high? It also has to do with the number of users, and hence we as Tech Tok holders also kind of decide the way this is going to go. So and I strongly believe on the viral force, and the app itself can be your strongest marketing weapon. So if you just share this app with your contact list and say, hey, why don't you try this out? We're talking privacy, security, and at some point we can weaponize this app with a DeFi product with an easy user interface, and we can have more people joining this decentralized DeFi wave. And when thousands upon thousands people start to use this, and only a small percentage of all the people having the app, it is still a phenomenal business. And we talk about 500,000, 1 million users. Some say, oh, those are big numbers. No, it's not. When it spreads and goes viral, these are quite conservative numbers. And what can happen to the price? The future will tell. We can't be quite accurate. We're just having a few estimates here based on some research we've done with other companies that we can compare ourselves with, quite frankly. So that's short, the concept behind the Tech Tok and Private Talk. And of course, we emphasize that people want privacy and security. Matt is always talking about two mega trends. It's a decentralized DeFi world combined with the need to take back your life, take back your privacy, and not be a currency for the big tech and big data companies. And also during this COVID pandemic, I think people are getting more aware of that you are exposed. Maybe some of you have seen this film called The Social Dilemma on Netflix. it's like a scary movie. There's also a few other quite good documentaries out there where the creators of this tech basically feel ashamed of what they have done, because big money is taking over and you are becoming just a little piece of currency in the world of sharks. Hence, decentralization, privacy, and security. That's our mantra in here. So let's have a look at how this works and how you can get your hands on a Tech Tok or two on us. So far, Michael, do you understand?
Yes, all good, Stellan.
Yeah, sure.
Very clear.
So we will just need to visit paraibatalk.com/VIP. The VIP version is in German, VIP-EN, which is the English version. I will share it with everyone here inside of the chat. So after visit that, you will see extended details about the offer here, and you just need to click and join us. Join us, it will navigate you to the registration form. You just need to fill your personal information, and don't forget about your invitation code from your sponsor. This invitation code right now is required, so you cannot register inside of the wallet without this invitation code. After filling the personal information includes the invitation code, you need to click in next. Next, it will send you an email to your registration email here, something like that. You just need to click and verify. It will navigate you to step 3, which is we provide the private keys for the wallet, because once you register inside of Paraiba wallet, we created a unique BTC wallet address for you. So we provide and share your private keys so you can just save it or write it down in a paper and save it safe in a safe place. After finish the 3 steps for registration, it will navigate you to the landing page for the back office. It's include a little bit information about what's the total supply for Tech Tok, what's already sold right now, and what's available until today, and the offer in simple terms with some explanation about the investment channels we used. So you just need to do 2 steps to purchase Tech Tok. Go to my account from here and go to deposit. My account, deposit, it will navigate you to this page. You need to choose the BTC address, the Bitcoin wallet. You can copy the address from here or show QR code to use your mobile phone wallet to deposit the fund. And once you transfer the fund using this BTC address by copy it or show the QR code, you will see that transaction is become here with the status if it's in progress, pending, or it's complete. When it's complete, you will see the transaction ID, so you can check it by any blockchain explorer. Next, you need to go to purchase Tech Tok.
What is important here, Anas, is some people try to go straight to the purchase. It's important that you deposit the funds first, and then you purchase.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
Little reminder.
Yeah. So once the deposit arrived, you will see it here inside of your available balance, and you can write how many Tech Tok you want to purchase. As a reminder, we have a minimum amount of Tech Tok, which is 1 to purchase, but you have the ability to do 6 digits after the dot, 6 decimal, because this token have 6 decimals, support 6 decimals right now. Okay, so after write it down, you need to go submit. This is the price rate for the Tech Tok in real time, because it's compared with the BTC price. So you can see the Tech Tok price here. Submit. After clicking submit, you will see the transaction appear in this table with the status as well. Once you purchase Tech Tok and submit the purchase, you will start to see your invitation code appear in the top menu here, the invitation code, so you could have the ability to share it with your affiliates or your first lines or your friends. If you go to your affiliate report, this system actually running by a smart contract. So for example, if you purchase TikTok, your sponsor immediately will get his commissions and deposit it inside of his BTC address. So you can withdraw it, the commission, or you can just compound and purchase more TikTok.
And when you see like this structure up here, it doesn't matter who's on top or not here. Basically, you're on top of your own business always here. Since we're only doing like a one-line affiliate commission, basically it's up to you. There's no streamline or anything. We're not attached to the existing Paraiba commission system. This is a satellite in the Paraiba world system, so to speak. So this is like its own ecosystem. So, but do respect your line of sponsors here. I think that's smart to say. Michael, did you say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say how important it is to realize, and you just mentioned it too, that you want to make sure that you're signing up with your Paraiba sponsor here, guys. They should already be in this. If they're not, they've got to get in it first, right? But you want to make sure that you're using the Paraiba TEKT invitation link, as Anas is showing you there, okay? You don't want to be using your Paraiba sponsor's Paraiba account number or anything to do with Paraiba, okay? Because as Stali just said, this is a satellite company. It's completely separate. So make sure you're using the invitation code associated with this. If your Paraiba sponsor is not in this yet, then they need to go get in first, right? They've got to get their tech. So they've got to get in touch with their sponsor or their sponsor Paraiba and work up until everyone can get in. All right. So we want to make sure that we're following proper protocol here by getting in with your Paraiba sponsor.
Yeah. And this is kind of also part of like a divide and conquer strategy, because Paraiba is like going into multiple verticals to make business. This will also benefit the Paraiba system itself, of course. It's a supportive business basically here as well. So, but we need to keep it as a entity here as a private ecosystem, like you say, Michael.
Yeah. I will just explain more about what is the TikTok. The TikTok is an ERC20 token deployed over Ethereum network. So anyone have experience to see or visit Ethereum Explorer blockchain like etherscan.io, the common one, you will see the TikTok here with 20,000 total supply, because after deploying your coin or token inside of the live mainnet Ethereum network, no one have the ability to edit or manipulate these numbers, even the transaction, the holders, the transfers. So if you just visit that, you will see how many transfers happening inside of the TikTok, what's the amounts there. You can check even the holders, what's the maximum holders for this token right now. And to be aware, we have 100 as a maximum amount to purchase TikTok, and the minimum amount, which is 1. And this amount, the biggest amount, is held by a smart contract. Once you purchase a TikTok, this smart contract, its job to distribute the TikTok between the people who is purchase a TikTok. So no one have the ability to control the price or control the market after we list the token in the cycle 3. So about your question, Sally, and why we are 20,000 TikTok limited, and why we don't go with 1 billion or 2 billion like others, like almost most of the coins right now in the market, because they just target to, let's say, increase their pocket. Don't care about the community, don't care about the investors, they just care about their pocket. If we see this as an example, Year Finance, this coin, I remember once I purchased that like a year ago, it started in our price range, which is 862 or 850, and right now they reach 51,000 today. Wow, this is big. So and they limited to 36,000 token because of this limitation or this amount of coins as a maximum supply. Like us, or a little bit, we are a little bit even down as this number. So because of that, the demand of this coin become bigger, and right now it's, as you see, it's the new Bitcoin, but with limited supply as a price action. So
Yeah, there is a big benefit of having a limited supply. And also we look at Etherscan, you will see that like because we had a lot of calls with the German speaking territory in Europe, and Klarheit und Wahrheit. And that means basically everything is transparent. You see all transactions. Of course, you don't see the names. You can't find any names. So you're totally stealth on this one, but all transactions will be visible. Hence, there's a fully transparent system behind this, basically. There's no shortcuts at all. So that's the short introduction we have. We may have some questions. I've seen there's a few ones in the chat here. So I don't know whether you want to manage that, and we will do our best to answer.
Yeah, there is a question, and great job, guys. Pretty clear there. Leon is asking, what if your sponsor or their sponsor doesn't join this? Does that mean you can't join or any of your downlines? So yeah, Leon, I did kind of allude to that. If your sponsor in Paraiba is not yet in this, then you want to contact them and, you know, find out what the story is. If they plan on joining, great. Then you can wait a little bit. We're not in any massive rush here, but certainly we want to do something pretty quickly. But if they're not in or don't plan to be in, then you can potentially get the link or invitation code of their sponsor and see if they're in. Okay, we kind of just got to do the best we can there. Yeah, Matt, it'll be recorded. Linda, how long will the price be? Well, right now, Linda, it's $450. There's a limited time discount for us because this is fresh, this is new. We're hearing about it now just for the first time. So for a limited time, it'll be $450 until, do we know when, Stalin?
30th of April, yeah.
30th of April, Linda, then that's it. So we've got about 15 days. Okay, so very short amount of time. Try and get in, get your tech, get your first line people in Paraiba with their tech so that they can save $50 per token. That seems like a good deal to me. So 30th of April will be the cutoff there, and then it will go to 500. Eric says, just want to make sure the symbol is TEKT. It doesn't come up in Etherscan. Can we? Okay.
Yeah, I shared the link.
With the link. Okay.
Yeah.
About the searching, why we don't appear in the search, because we didn't list the token yet. So we need to wait until list the token, so we will be appear in the search.
Yeah. But you share the Etherscan link as well in the chat, Anas?
Sure, yeah, I shared.
Okay, so both the VIP site and the Etherscan link is shared in the chat, so you can have a look. And feel free to share that with whomever you want to.
So Ken and Mandy are asking, clarify how to download the Tech Tok app. What is the correct name to search? Is that something you can show on the screen, Stelly? Maybe for everybody? On how to download the app, the private chat app. I think a lot of people are asking that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was trying to not to go to that topic today and focus on the Tech Talk today, but okay, that means it will be like a huge Q&A thing here. I know, Anas, maybe you could spend a minute to show that. So
yeah, just quickly, because some people may not have the app.
Yeah. Just how of course, if you have a iPhone, you go into App Store. If you have a Samsung, Huawei, or something else in the Android world, you go to Google Play Store. So, and you just download it. You just click download and you install it. And that's not rocket science. It's quite easy.
Yeah.
Anas, I don't know what you're showing now, Anas, but you are showing some.
Actually, the easiest way, if you go to paraibatalk.com, I will share it right now.
Yeah.
So you will have the ability to see both the iOS and the Android version here from the stores. So this is the App Store. This is the Play Store. This is the easiest way. I will share this link right now.
Yeah. And you just also go into your App Store and on your phone basically and write Paraiba, and it's there and you can download it.
Just Paraiba, exactly.
Yeah.
And then it's just following the steps like installing any kind of app.
Okay, Marcel, I created 20 sub accounts under me. I already purchased one for my main account. Can I use my own link to purchase coins for sub accounts? Okay, you don't need to do that, Marcel, because remember, this is 100% completely separate. from Paraiba. It's not associated with your main account or your sub accounts whatsoever. Okay. The only association here is that you have joined under your Paraiba sponsor. Okay. They have joined and gotten tech. They've given you an invitation code and you have joined. That's it. So if you want more coins, just use the same account that you've already made here for tech. Okay. No need to create any other accounts. One account is all you need.
Yeah. And you can purchase more tech once you're in there, and based on your interest that we give back at you, basically you can save up and buy another one, basically, so you can reinvest your commission and buy more Tech Talks as well. But I want to keep this as clean and ethical as possible, and please then honor your first line and talk to your sponsor. I think that's fair.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Eric, since it's an ERC20 token, I assume it could be transferred to a cold storage wallet, or does it need to stay in the private wallet for the payouts?
Yeah, once we list the token, because right now the smart contract distribute the tokens when we sold out and start the process of listing the token, we will provide the ability to withdraw the fund out there, and you could use your cold wallet, hot wallet, whatever you use. So yeah, it's compatible with any kind of ERC20 wallet.
But it's very safe in our private wallets anyways, right, Stolly? I mean,
Yeah, it's a private key wallet inside here, basically. So it's like Fort Knox on steroids.
Actually, this is the beauty with the blockchain. You don't need even to trust anyone. If you have a position here, no one in the world can just manipulate or edit this position for you.
yeah, nobody can take those coins out of your account anyway, right? I mean,
No.
you can't withdraw them. Not right now.
No, I mean you can withdraw your commission immediately if you want to, or you can reinvest it into more Tech Talks.
Right.
But your wallet is safe. That was one of the things Eric wanted in the beginning. He said, please provide private keys for this because we want this to be bulletproof. And it needs to be the same standard as we talk about security and privacy for the communication tools. So this is bulletproof.
Awesome. Linda says, can we offer tech to others outside? So I guess you're meaning outside of Paraiba with our referral code. Is that okay to do, Stella?
That's totally okay with me, basically. And I also see that as a good reason to introduce people to the other business. Use this as a marketing weapon. And if people have doubts doing anything else, then this is the way to catch clients, then feel free.
Matt's asking, is there an auto invest button? I don't think, if you're talking about if you want to take your commissions, Matt, and then buy more coins, I don't think there's any auto invest, is there, stuff?
No.
Yeah, you got to manually invest, Matt. If you've
Yeah,
got
yeah.
Bitcoin from referrals, then manually buy your new tech coins.
Yeah, and because you need to buy minimum first one Tech Talk, but you can't after that. Or you can buy 1.6, 1.5, 2.3, whatever. But the next time you buy, you need to buy at least one more, and that has to do with the current gas fees on the Ethereum blockchain and everything. It's damn expensive right now. So we need to make sure it goes flawlessly in that way.
Yeah, so if you've got Bitcoin from referrals in your account, then it needs to be at least 500, or right now 450.
Yeah. But you can also add more if you want to buy another one. If you have half of it, you can add half of it yourself and buy another one.
Right.
So it's flexible in that regard.
Guys, if you want to unmute yourself, if you want to ask a question, you can.
Yeah.
Are the commissions paid in BTC? Yes, Marcel. Directly, immediately paid in your Bitcoin wallet. Because you have two wallets in your private wallet. You've got your Bitcoin wallet and you've got your tech wallet. Or your tech tokens, I guess is what we should say.
Okay. Anybody wants to mute themselves and ask anything?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Could you please repeat what you said about this eventually being listed and being able to be purchased on other exchanges, other public exchanges like Coinbase or wherever? Or will it?
Yeah. Anas, maybe you can repeat that, please.
Yeah, for sure. When we reach the cycle 3 and need to list this token inside of the open market, we will start with the decentralized exchange, DEXs, it's called. And the common one is Uniswap, Balancer. So anyone in the world can list the token, supply the pools, and exchange their tokens there. This is first. Second, once we reach a point we are ready to the centralized exchange, we will target the top 10 like Gate.io and Hotbit as an example. That's the first. And the final target will be Binance. When we reach a point we are ready, we will list it inside of Binance.
Yeah, I think that's the answer. But what is important to take note of here is that even before that point, we are already creating revenue for the token holders. First the cycle 1 and then the cycle 2. And of course, within this reasonable time frame, we need to take this to the decentralized exchanges like Uniswap and the likes of it. Linda,
So I have a follow.
Yeah.
Oh, just a follow-up question there. So I understand blockchain and all of crypto, it's all in the decentralized category of in our world versus centralized banking. So within the decentralized aspect that we're talking about, then there's like a subcategory of decentralized exchanges or something. That's a little confusing to me.
Yeah, Matt and Os, maybe you can enlighten us a bit here.
Yeah, it's actually it's a different question, I think. That the decentralized finance is something to invest your money inside of the blockchain. Let's say that. The decentralized exchange, it's a part of this. Think about it like exchange system, like Binance, like Coinbase, but in the decentralized way, which is running using protocols and coding. Oh, that's all, without any owners. Maybe Matt, you can help with that.
Yeah, this is a tough one, but it's a really tough one to explain in layman's terms. But a decentralized exchange is basically, if you can imagine, in a normal world, in a centralized exchange, there's Coinbase that sits between you and I. When I want to buy a Bitcoin, you want to sell a Bitcoin. They sit in the middle. They take your money and they take my Bitcoin, and we do the transaction, and they govern that transaction in between us. In a decentralized exchange, there is no third party in between you and I. We actually conduct that transaction peer-to-peer. What governs that transaction is computer code. And the interesting thing about that, if you can take that concept and apply it to all other financial products all around the world, lending, borrowing, derivatives, synthetics, you name it, where there is no JP Morgan in between us, there is no Coinbase in between us doing a transaction, there's only computer code. Now the people that participate in funding that computer code, interacting with it, they are also the beneficiaries of profits that are derived from those activities. And that's why it is such a massive elephant in the room moment when you talk about DeFi, decentralized finance. It's literally the world's new financial system that just people haven't discovered yet. So, it's a little bit technical. It's a little bit hard to get your hands around initially. It's hard to understand the concept of it because it is quite new. In general, just decentralized protocols and ownership is something that is going to be more common in the coming years, but it's just something that, takes a little time to get your hands around it.
Thanks. That's really helpful. And then would it be then that a decentralized exchange, the power of it would really have to do with how much it's being accepted by the masses? And if it's not really have much going on, it's got to have acceptance.
Right. So as Anas had mentioned, the first step is to get it listed. And when we get, let's say, this is effectively what we're conducting right now is a private sale. Of course, this is very, very early stage. But as the app starts to be downloaded and people start to use the communication app, and then they of course start to see the offers inside and participate in those, it's going to obviously go viral. At that point, there's going to be more of a demand for buying and selling of the token, which we would initially take to the decentralized exchange, have a history of transactions, and then you can take that type of history and then go to a centralized exchange and just acquire effectively more token holders through that way. But obviously, it's very important, number one, that we deliver on our promises as it relates to DeFi and the returns there. That's going to be very important. We're already happy to say we're in really good shape halfway through April in that regard. But above and beyond that, it's of course, the more people that know about it through downloading the app, just by using it as a communication tool, once they understand that there's a token also associated with the application, that's when things become very interesting. But we're not at that stage yet, because this is obviously a very private VIP sale, and you're one of the first people to find out about this.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Go ahead, Mike.
On the screen, the return on our initial deposit, it says paid monthly until target is reached. Does that word target mean our deposit amount? So in other words, if we buy one token for 450, when we reach the target, is that the 225?
Now let's calculate with 500. It's easier to do the math. So when we say 50% return, that means that you will get 250 back. That's based on the initial price, 500. So cycle one pays out $250.
Okay.
Over a time frame of X amount of months. And what that target is reached for you as a token holders, of course, we might have been activating cycle number 2 as well. So it's working well for you at this point.
So when new question, so basically most of us can just hold on to the ERC20 coin, right? And until it goes public for other people to purchase on the exchanges, right?
Yes.
I know you mentioned earlier that we can sell a portion of the ERC coin, right?
Yeah, that's up to you, basically. We have to buy it for minimum 1 now, but when it goes in on the exchanges, you can sell point something. Because I think you want to hold on to it for a while, because this is going to generate revenue for you.
Right.
In cycle 2, I think you're going to, because we can't promise anything, but in cycle number 2, we clearly think that you will have more than your investment back.
Okay.
So it's a good business based on the 2 first cycles. Cycle 3 will be a phenomenal bonus, if you ask me.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad it makes sense.
Yeah, so to recap, guys, you're getting paid 2 ways on this token. Right away, we're getting paid off what they're doing behind the scenes with the staking and the trading. So $250 per TEKT is paid over a period of months. We don't know exactly what that's going to pay, but I mean, it could be 5% a month, could be 10% a month. We don't know. It could be much more than that, right? We have no idea, but it will get paid out until $250 is reached. And then at that point, probably before that, well before that, because we expect that this quarter, right, Stali, for cycle 2 to begin, right? So we're going to have the monetization of the products. And so, funds are coming in for that and then shared throughout the token holder community.
Yep.
Matt is asking, can we send other coins for a deposit? Just BTC right now, I believe, right?
Yeah, we are just having BTC now. I don't know whether you planned anything else and ask if we can accept anything else.
We will support USDT, but we supported USDT in ERC20, but because of the Ethereum gas fees is very high today, it's not make sense to the people to purchase using that. So we are going with BTC right now, and we covered the fees. Next, we will start to support Tron TRC20 token using USDT as a stable coin too. And even the returns, we will distribute it using USDT as a stable coin. Yeah.
Great. I like Tron. Will there be more tokens created other than the 20,000 supply?
No.
I hope that was clear.
Actually, if we want to, we cannot. It's not about our decision. It's something already deployed, so no one can edit that. No one can add more tokens.
Right. It's a set amount. Done. Okay. Vito's asking, what are the plans for marketing the token and the token sale? I know you mentioned influencers and things like that.
Yeah, the influencers are becoming more interesting for us before we go to cycle number 3, the exchange. This is where we want to hype and push things. For now, we're doing private sales, and we do believe the force of the community within Paraiba will be enough to sell it out. to give the community the benefit of buying these tokens. So we will do non-stop presentations like we do today. But in the month of April, we kind of keep it to a VIP environment. So yeah, we're flying a little bit under the radar right now. But I think that's the power of a network, basically. Once we start talking about this, basically it passes on word of mouth and everything. And we see it spreading quite fast. We sold out 5% of the tokens based on a few calls. And also people kind of understand that the altcoin season is here, and the sooner you get into it, the sooner you will finish your cycle number 1. So yeah, we're not going massively out there. That will happen on a bigger scale before we go in cycle 3, the exchanges.
Okay, EZR is asking, when will the token become a coin? Is there still an ICO process?
Coin token. Potato.
Yeah, I think that's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a token now, and it'll be on the exchange, when it gets on the exchange. You can't say exactly when, but when it happens, that's when people will be able to purchase more, because some people may want to sell a little bit, right? We don't know, but there'll be some people, right, that want to sell a little bit. And then that obviously can make this coin go crazy. You just saw what Yearn Finance did, right?
Yeah.
Very similar style of coin here, where the coin is paying you something, right? Linda, will there ever be a charge for Private Talk users?
Oh yeah, that's part of the ecosystem here.
Right.
And if you want to have a fully encrypted file transfer service with the cyber control containers and so on, there will be fees attached to it. There will be a fee attached to the conference system, like with Zoom. You pay something to have like a particular kind of quality and a room for meetings. The app itself will be weaponized with DeFi, hence that will generate revenue through that. But yes, it will, and I said, and I repeat that, but that's a decision we'll make together. What it's going to cost and how we're going to do this will be part of a voting system amongst the token holders. Anas, maybe you can explain a bit more around the smart contracts and how we do that.
Yeah, actually, the smart contract for voting, its work depend on your position as a TikTok holder. And there is no need to KYC or your name or your first name or your email. We just need your wallet address, and you can vote, depend on your position. So if I have like 10 TikTok inside of my wallet and Staley have 100, then Staley have 100 voice in the inside of this voting ecosystem, and I have 10. So it's it's work with a decentralized way, so no one can manipulate or fake this. So once you vote, and when we reach a critical, let's say critical point, we need to get everyone to vote for something. For example, adding a new product, or there's 2 options to go with. Distribute the fund, distribute the returns monthly or weekly, something like that. So we could start voting.
Yeah, hence we'll also show how the fee structures are divided between the holders, and of course the company needs to make some money, but it will be fully transparent so that you see actually in which directions the fees are going. And I think that's fair. Totally transparent, everything.
Eric
I think you'll like that.
Eric says, once the 50% target is reached, will the staking trading continue? And will there still be payout on that, or what will happen to that money?
No, then you got your kickback until this target is 250, and then it stops. Yeah. And then you participate in cycle 2, which is far bigger than cycle 1, and then of course they have cycle 3. So there's three horses pulling the wagon, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Martin, do I need to change my dollars in UX to BTC to buy Tech Tok, or will it get changed automatically in transfer? If you have dollars in UX, then yeah, you need to change it to BTC. If you're going to buy TEKT, you have to deposit BTC into the Private Talk wallet first, okay, and then buy your TEKT. So yeah, you need BTC, Martin. Linda, ERC20 tokens, what does this mean? What is
ERC20? It's one of the tokens deployed in Ethereum. mainnet blockchain. This is the short answer for that.
Yeah, ERC20 tokens are all developed on Ethereum. Edward, so would it be too early to start promoting this out there within April? I'm planning to get this out there on my YouTube channel.
It's a free world.
Free world. There you go. Yeah, you can do it, Ed. No problem.
It's the whole point of what we're doing, basically. We're not going to limit anyone at all, basically.
Yeah.
Power to the people.
Just want to be sure, Edward, that you know, we're really after your first line in Paraiba, right? You don't want a whole bunch of downline people, you know, coming in and then, you know, somebody under you gets upset. You just have to be careful there, really. Barrington, can you provide a checklist on purchasing the tokens on how to do it, Barrington? Yeah, we'll definitely be doing that in the Telegram room and Facebook groups on exactly how to purchase it. It's no problem, but of course, this will be recorded. It's being recorded right now, so you'll be able to come back and do that, right? Take a look on how it's done. Okay, Linda, but UE, Unique Exchange, still not exchanged USD to BTC. Yeah, you can do that, Linda. Yeah, you can, I think. I mean, I've done it, unless that's something that's temporary right now, but I've certainly exchanged BTC or USD to BTC in UX.
Really?
Sure.
When did that start? Because it's been a fiat from other countries but never in the US yet. Did I miss something?
Yeah, well, you cannot send a wire. You're right. You cannot send a wire or bank transfer from the US to Unique. You cannot do that. But I do have some USD in there from being paid from UPDM and the VC shares. And so I did a quick swap that way. So it's already got to be in there.
I see. Or maybe well, we couldn't even do it from our private earnings because those come out as BTC.
Yeah, you don't need to exchange it. I mean, it goes from your private account into your UX as BTC. Then you can take it from there and put it into your Paraiba Talk wallet and buy your tech tokens.
Okay, so I see. If it's in there already, then you can exchange it. But then, as Marcel's saying, you can't deposit it into there from the USD into Unique.
You cannot send a USD wire yet. Okay, to UX.
Right.
You cannot do that.
Yeah.
Just use another exchange. It's fine. I mean, there's lots out there, as you know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, guys? If you want to mute yourself, or if you want to click on the chat bottom in the middle and type a question, that's fine. Take just a few more questions, and then we'll wrap it up if there's any. Lots of good questions, guys. Appreciate them all.
Have a look at the links we share, the Etherscan one and the VIP site, please. Make sure you have the correct one.
Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, as usual, Michael.
Last but not least, Dave.
Yep. Actually, I like to be quiet in the beginning because I got a whole list of questions here, but 90% of them's already been answered just by listening.
Oh, good.
A long time ago, I learned listening helps. And as you guys know, and probably a lot of people on the call, I'm more a investor than a promoter. And I now starting to really understand this. I've come to the conclusion that if I believe in Paraiba, which I do, if anybody believes in Paraiba, this is a great investment. So some of you also know I won some money on another platform. I'm thinking maybe I'll take a lot of that money and buy some tokens here. But my understanding is BTC in, BTC out. Say yes.
Yes.
Okay. And it can come from like Coinbase, Unique Exchange, any place I can transfer in the BTC to the Tech Tok.
Correct.
Okay. Then the last thing is you showed an example where you put in 0.008 Bitcoin, but one Tech Tok was only 0.007. You rounded off. What happens to that other 0.00001?
Okay. Did you catch that on us? Because I'm not quite sure how to tackle that one.
Yeah.
I mean,
yep.
Or Matt.
Yeah. I mean, I'll answer it. Yeah. I mean, that would stay in your wallet. So you could obviously withdraw that, or after you bought the one Tech Tok, then presumably you could go ahead and buy a fraction of one. Is that right, Nas?
No, okay, just to clarify
Did we
that a little more, you can't, you have to buy minimum one
sorry.
Tech Tok initially.
Yeah.
And then, or you can buy 1.2 or 3 or up to 100 if you want to.
Okay,
next-
that
yeah,
explains it. Excellent.
Yeah. So the next one you want to buy needs to be minimum one. So that's based on the kickback you have from cycle one, might not be enough to buy a full one Tech Tok. Then you can either wait until you have enough or add the extra funds to make a new purchase.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Yeah, because there's 6 decimal places, right? So if you got a little extra BTC in there, you can buy, like you said, 1.1 or 1.2, whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly. With the 6 digits, you have the ability to purchase with using all your fund. Using this, it's the deducted amount from your wallet, and you can go like even calculate it or just write down like this as an example. You will see the amount.
And there's no fees or anything, so I can use the exact amount that's
Exactly.
there.
Yeah, because we covered the fees actually. Yeah.
It's getting better and better. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for your questions.
Okay, any other questions, guys?
Yes,
And
can I
Michael, I
put-
got a question for you too.
Okay, go ahead, Leon.
With the, just to make sure I have the understanding correct, with the first cycle where it pays out the 50%, say you're making $250, I'm assuming once it goes into the second cycle, that'll be at least that commission or higher, or will it have a pullback because it's paying out a different way and then it has to build again?
So,
Yeah.
you want to say something first, Michael? I can
Well, I
add.
mean, yeah, cycle 2 is based on the sales that happen from the privacy suite products, right? So initially that's going to start with the Paraiba membership, right? We don't know how much we're going to pay for that yet. They're still deciding it. So it could be, I don't know, $10 a month, let's say, right? So, you know, Paraiba has, let's say 30,000 members are all paying $10. That'd be $300,000, right? Coming in every month. And a portion of that is distributed to tech holders. And so there's no, you know, limitation on it, right? It's not going to just pay out to a certain point. It's continual, right? So for months and years, if more products get added on, whatever comes into this ecosystem and people are buying, whatever sales are made from any product or service, it's going to go back to the tech holders, you and me.
Yeah. And,
So what
and maybe Matthew, you can also emphasize that when it's happening to DeFi, that will also benefit the token holders in cycle 2.
Yeah, it's interesting because normally under the normal circumstances on a token sale, you buy the token and it represents something, and you're, you know, you have some rewards that that you'd get. In this case, where you look at something like Yearn, where you participate in the yield aggregator that distributes returns to you as a holder of that token, and that's obviously one of the reasons why it's so popular. But if we look at it from this perspective, if I mean, basically a portion of your money going to buy the token is also put into DeFi, that's like a bonus for me, right? I think the real thing is to have a token that represents ownership in the ecosystem and all the rewards that are going to come from it over the coming years. So as new users download the communication app that had no idea what DeFi was or how they could benefit from it, start to learn about that and start to participate in that, you as a token holder would get those rewards from that. And so that's the big picture that's coming once, you know, once we really start to launch and promote the app as a communication tool.
And cycle number 2 will be a really good business opportunity that will live on. It's a business. It's continuous business, basically.
So when we get into the cycle 1 where it's paying out, say the $250 per token, can we assume once it reaches cycle 2, we'll still be making at least a $250 payout per month, or is that going to be then changed based upon the amount of sales for the product?
It is totally based on reality and sales and traffic and fees and everything. We can't give you any. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't say that.
Gotcha. Okay. So I was just saying for the point that we
Yeah.
can be getting 250 back for whatever amount of months, and then it could be a little bit lower until it builds back up and then surpass that.
The cycle number 2 can also, and most probably will start before we reach a target in cycle number 1. So those two
Okay.
will work at the same time. But once you digest cycle number 2 a little bit, I think you will see the potential is far bigger than you think initially.
Okay.
Because it's like having a share in a quite successful communication company with DeFi attached to it. So yeah, you will see.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Cycle number 1 doesn't pay out $250 a month.
No.
$250 till you get there.
Yep. Then we will be tricking you. That's impossible. You get
I thought I heard someone say $250 a month. Can cycle 1 and 2 overlap? In other words, could you actually start cycle 2 before we reach the 250? Because that
Yes.
makes sense to me.
Yes, of course.
It's better, Staley.
We likely will. Definitely, I think.
Yeah, for sure we will.
Yeah.
Because
think so.
people are joining at different times, basically, and they will have a different time frame reaching the target of the 50% kickback. So whomever bought now, and there will be a few buyers in May, they will, of course, maybe reach that target a little later. Hence, the cycle 2 will start at some point, whilst we're still in cycle number 1, with maybe even a majority of the people, because cycle number 2 is a priority to get up and running as soon as possible. That's where the real money is.
Also, what you just said makes sense to get into cycle 1 now to reach the 250 as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
we
the
already
market,
started in cycle 1.
yeah, we are there. We're doing the first payout now, the 1st of May.
Yeah,
So this is trading. It's going quite well, and we'll publish those numbers the 1st of May, basically, based on how the market is. And right now, I think it's smart to get around and get in there because, as I said in the beginning, this is the altcoin season. There's a bull market like nothing we've seen ever before, and the next few months are going to be the most golden opportunity, the window where we should know what to do, so to speak. It's
If I get in now, I will get something out on May 1st.
you get in now. Anas, how we do that if you get in now? Today is the 15th, 16th.
And in the background, the protocol distribute the fund depend on your position as a TikTok, how many TikTok you have, and what's the time you join the pool. So we have it's a technical details, but we have 4 cycles for each month, and we will distribute the returns weekly. The protocol actually distribute the returns weekly, but it's distribute in the back office monthly. So if you we have 2 weeks right now. Yeah, so you will get a returns in 1st of May if you purchase today, but it's not the same amount that people already purchased in the 1st of this month. So it's fair. The cool thing about the smart contract, it's fair. No one can.
I like it. Looking better.
So if you get it right now, you'll have 2 weeks of profit paid May 1st, basically.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
And where would
go
the
ahead,
profit
Linda.
would the profit show up in your Paraiba wallet? I mean your your Tok wallet, private Tok wallet?
Yeah. Can you share screen, Anas, just to see where they get their stuff in the back office in the wallet?
Actually, just I will correct you, Michael. Sorry for that, but if you join today, you have a week of returns, not 2 weeks, because the 1st week is already started. The 3rd week in this, and it's already started. We have week 15 right now in 2021.
What day does a week begin? Sunday? Monday?
Wednesday.
In USA?
Yeah, it's 12th of April until 18th of April.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can share this
We're
one.
we're
here
in
in
week
the chat.
15 already.
Yeah, exactly. We are already in. So I will share this link.
So that
here.
would be something to let people know if they want to receive their money back faster, to get in before next Wednesday. It's Wednesday here, the next trading cycle. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We don't need to explain the technical stuff out there because we need to focus on the benefit. Just forget about the returns, the 2050, the first 2050, because the main, let's say the main, what it's called in English, the main point here is the value of the TikTok itself. To support the TikTok itself, what's the value for it? So this week it's equal nothing when we reach the listing of the token. This is just a
Yeah, let's not squabble over 1 or 2 weeks of profit. Right?
Yeah, but once you get in, you get into it. But you get
Yeah,
paid
yeah,
as you get paid as
Yeah.
you play.
Yeah,
The sooner the better, Michael. Sooner the better.
yeah, sooner the better is what it boils down to. Okay, Ken is asking, will any funds be a profit center for Paraiba World, or is this a closed center within itself?
This is its own separate entity. It's a satellite. It will at some point support the Paraiba World to some extent, but we'll see about that, basically. Let's grow the business first. But this is, of course, a benefit for Paraiba as well, of course.
Well, there are some of the funds going to Paraiba trading, right? I mean,
Yeah,
Paraiba trading.
some of it are allocated to the Paraiba BTC trading pool, which has proven quite successful. So yeah, it's a benefit for Paraiba as well, of course.
Any other questions, guys?
I have a question for you, Michael Marketer. So if somebody if we're just a brief way to communicate about this without, I mean, this has been a great in-depth call for initial finding information out, or maybe to send somebody after they're interested. But let's say they don't really even know much about Paraiba yet, or or Paraiba Talk, or they don't know it. So we're then also bringing in the token. How would you frame this in a way that could be compelling and not, just get too much in depth and where somebody can't even follow what we're talking about?
Yeah. Linda, are you in the Telegram group?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's best that we maybe talk about that afterwards, because we wanted to just focus on, Tech Talk today, not necessarily get into all the different possibilities of marketing. But I've got some emails and things I've already produced, some text and things you can give to people to, get information on this. So I can forward that to you, okay?
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Any other questions, guys? I think that's good. I think we've had a lot of great questions here. I think if there's anything else, we can handle it in the Telegram groups afterwards. That's no problem. But I think everyone has a pretty good idea of what's going on here. I think that was pretty clear. If there's anything that isn't, guys, so we'll answer it later. Don't worry. And this is recorded. You can always come back and listen to it again. But I think there's a great opportunity here, guys. I mean, I've been waiting for these products to, really launch the monetization aspect, and here we are. We're at the beginning of it, and lots of excitement here. We got passive income, residual incomes happening, and when this thing hits the exchanges, it could be big. Could be big. I mean, wow. I think there's big opportunity here. Go ahead, Stelly.
Now we're just putting our effort into this, basically, and we are way ahead of the curve. So it's all about timing. I mean, most people, they kind of sit and wait until it's too late. This time, basically, you're ahead of the curve. And listening to what Matt is saying, what Anas is saying, and time spent and research and what's going in the market, I think we created the right formula to create a winner.
Indeed. Okay, so thank you to Stelly. Appreciate you being here. And Anas and Matthew, great job, guys, in explaining all of this. Really appreciate it. Excellent information. So guys, if you want to get your TEKT, make sure to get in touch with your Paraiba sponsor. They need to obviously have their TEKT, and they can share their invitation code or invitation link with you so that you can then get started, right? Deposit your BTC, buy your TEKT, and then if you want to share it with others, at that point, you'll have your own invitation link and code to share out, okay? And definitely want to let your team know, if you've got a private team, get it to your first line folks so they can get it, right, as soon as possible. And start benefiting from this, right? First payout May 1st, and let's see where we go with this. I'm excited. All right. So with that, thanks, guys. Appreciate everyone's time today.
Great meeting.
Yeah, we'll
Thank you.
recap a bit of this maybe on Sunday.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Okay. See you guys. Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right. Thank you.
Excellent call. Thank you.